What is amazing is how we have like it's a lot of responsibility. Coming from a place of learning, no one was ever there to be like, this is how it must be done. We got our opportunity to basically either make it or break it, which worked out really well for us.
Kia ora guys, and welcome to Fortis Caravans.
Andrew, where did Fortis Caravans begin?
May in 22, I met a friend of mine down in Christchurch, Oliver. He had just brought 5 caravans to New Zealand to give a show a bit of a go. He had our friends Sarah and Keelan down for the first time, so as you can imagine it was this big whirlwind, flying down to Christchurch, seeing my first ever caravan show. The vans had literally been in New Zealand maybe 2 or 3 days, so I'd gone down just to give him a hand to get this first van on the road. So we're trying to get New Zealand compliance on an Australian van, and we had no idea about the caravan industry. We're in Bunnings trying to put in plumbing and all sorts, so it was a real whirlwind. Fast forward maybe to July, the caravans had made it back to Palmerston North, where they'd be sitting on a yard, another dealership here. Oliver had been over to do some training with them, and I dropped them down to Wellington Airport. 2 days later, they were back in Palmerston North texting me to go for a beer. So they'd already decided that we were going to give it a go. Went to the bar, had a couple beers, left for the job, and a pair of keys to a dealership. So got the vans in here. You'll see a bit of photos and stuff of us, well, me, getting the floor painted and the first vans on site. Then about a week of opening the doors, you know, we already had people starting to come in, wanted to see them in person. Some of those people we still catch up with at shows today, which is pretty crazy. You'll know yourself. I mean, you're second longest standing here at Fortis. Do you want to give a bit of your story on how you came into the party here?
For sure. So at the start, obviously, just had urban caravans, and in the dealership there were probably 4 or maybe 5 caravans at the start. I was overseas. I had caught up with Andrew beforehand and had come into the dealership for a bit of a look, and it all looked quite fancy. I'd never seen caravans like that in New Zealand before. I'd done a little bit of sales experience before, but got thrown in the deep end. I knew nothing about caravans at the start.
What are you doing?
I guess the challenges we really had at the start when it was just coming out of COVID and bits and pieces were build times. We only had 4 or 5 vans here, so most people were having to wait, 18 months to actually get the van. So that's where we were able to build up quite a good relationship with our customers throughout.
What it meant is that, people were buying these vans, we'd see them in another 2 or 3 shows, we'd say hi, we'd catch up. Not only did it allow us to, get to know these customers incredibly well before they came and picked up their van, but it also meant that they were getting a good deal. So we had, a swarm of customers. I think we only delivered 1 caravan in 2022, and how many did we deliver in 2023? 7?
Yeah.
Which was basically us trying to get them ready, us trying to get them on the road. I remember days of you and I coming to work going, we've got a handover today.
You do all the pre-delivery checks, I do all the cleaning, vacuuming. When you're too short to clean the top of a caravan. So I guess that period we learnt a lot about the vans that we may not have if we weren't in that position. We grew reasonably quickly, so we needed to employ more people to be able to kind of take our next steps in the journey.
Almost 160 vans on the road last year alone. The year before that, almost the same. So we got to the stage, we were starting to get more and more staff, and we realised that with the right staff and the right systems, you could increase that a lot more. One of my big qualms with a lot of big dealerships and stuff like that is too many people. It's all about trying to make sure you get the most out of your people, and not to be another number, another ticket. We get passed around a big yard.
I guess one of the big changes for us was when we brought on Supreme and Leader.
We do have behind me the Supreme Executive, a Leader Gold LE.
We originally had Urban. You want to go through a few reasons why?
So Jason Kettle, one of the dudes that was selling our Urbans, he saw what we did here in New Zealand. Obviously we got on really, really well with him, and he liked our style of attacking the New Zealand market. He'd swapped over to Supreme, went and worked for them. very hard company to get in with. These guys are, you know, almost 40 years in the industry. They run majority of their own dealerships in Australia. So yeah, we got the opportunity to sit down with them, managed to get sole distribution for them. So we've had Supreme Leader almost 2 years. Great vans, absolutely great vans. Being able to produce such a high volume of vans for the price and keep that, you know, the after sales and stuff where it should be. Part of that was we had to get a service yard. So that led, actually James's father came on as our first service tech.
Yeah.
Grew out of the back here, so he ended up down on the other side of town servicing vans. It's a bit disjointed, having things in two areas. So we're very, very lucky to actually get next door in our Palmerston North Yard to be able to service vans. So I think in total we're 8-9 staff here in Palmy. I think another real key thing to remember here is that a lot of us have just been friends for a long time. Oliver and I were friends, really young tackers. James and I have been best mates since high school. Ned came along.
It's like Andrew's transported into Meg's body.
You know, and then we've got all these new ones: Josh, Dave, Sierra, Taylor, Phil, Steve down south. You know, it's a real tight knit family unit.
Yeah, and I guess just after that we opened a dealership in
Christchurch. Yeah.
Steve here, Fortis Christchurch. Steve here from Fortis Christchurch. Steve here from Fortis Christchurch. Weather Watch Canterbury.
Again, got to the point where we had enough customers, we had enough stock. Not something I'd recommend for every dealership out there. Don't just go and open a yard in Christchurch. It's
been tried and
it's definitely one of those things where it's a big expense. The expenses are real high down there, but it's nice that people can go into that yard, check out the vans without having to come North Island all the time. Christchurch is always probably one of our easiest shows as well. We can just fly in and set up, fly out rather than dragging the vans all around the country.
And here at Christchurch, NZMTA show is on tomorrow and Sunday. Come and check out our site. We're really excited to have you guys here. Check this out. We've got umbrellas up. We'll have heaters going. Caravans the whole way around.
I remember that first year, I think I was on the ferry like 13 or 14 times trying to get vans to the shops.
Yeah. How have we kind of joined the journey with our customers? What have we been doing to keep the relationship going forward so it's not just we hand over the van and never see the customer again?
Fat chance. No, look, all of our customers are great. These guys, they genuinely just want to see us, just as we want to see them. So I remember talking to the Kowaleski's, who was one of my first show deals at the September show in 22. Once they got their van, they were travelling around, and Tom said to me, he said, we should do a bit of a get together. Oh yeah. But it was honestly fantastic. Best idea ever. We didn't know what to expect, right? We said, let's have this meet up. How many did we get at our first?
20 something, yeah.
What an amazing experience. Everyone's already got caravans, we can't say anything new. But just to sit, chat, chew the fat, really nice to just get those milestones as well.
Customers have, you know, potentially changed on their van, talking with, you know, what they're doing gives us knowledge as well.
100%.
So we can apply it for new customers that come in. We've got our Facebook page now as well.
The owners group, my favourite.
Yeah.
And really sucks too, being stuck in the yard, looking at your mug, while all these customers are out experiencing New Zealand, is just crazy, but really cool to keep up with everyone. There is just honestly such a huge group of people that are all travelling in the same direction. Yeah. All over the place, but in the same direction.
Yeah. I guess, is there anything kind of interesting, or what is the next kind of steps for Fortis going forward?
We're gonna have more people on the road. We're gonna have more people experiencing, create this real family feel of travelling. It's not about here's a product, you must buy it. It's about how do we take you guys from how you think you want to travel and turn all those ideas into like a caravan that is actually going to be a part of making that travelling dream come true. Change whatever the heck you like.
Yeah.
You know, have it your way. It means that this caravan is going to be yours and it's going to be exactly how you guys dream it. We couldn't do it without our customers because they are the ones that created this way of, you know, how Fortis is being built. So really, really appreciate you all and really, really excited for all of you to join the Fortis family as well. Thanks, guys.
It is Friday evening. Everyone's gone home. We've just hit a huge milestone just before the end of the financial year. I'm really excited, and I've got a little bit of a plan to celebrate. You think it looked funny if I used the floor cleaner? And I hope this isn't too expensive. Thank you to whoever gave it to me.